Hello my friends. Now let me kick off by telling you what triggered this video. I opened YouTube recently and in my list of suggested videos to watch was one titled I Wrecked My Harley on My First Ride by a channel called Everything's Regular. He had just picked up his second-hand Harley and was riding home when he was blinded by the sun, hit a curb at decent pace and ended up in a heap. Thankfully uninjured. But watching this made me think about putting a video together highlighting some of the dangers out there that you haven't necessarily considered. This is more aimed at newer riders, as no doubt those of you with experience will already be well aware of these things. Now before I start, here's a disclaimer. I'm not an instructor or a coach of any kind. In fact, I've never had any advanced lessons or courses, I just have experience. And the few things I cover here I have dealt with at some point firsthand. Now it makes sense to start with sunshine. We all love a big old fat portion of sunshine. But here are some of the issues that the big ball of fire can throw at us. If you're riding along on a bright day and ride into shade, for example a tunnel of trees or even the shadow of buildings, it can take a moment for your eyes to adjust. Let's say somewhere around 2 seconds, maybe a bit more or less depending on the contrast between the light and dark. Now if you're travelling at 60 miles an hour, in those 2 seconds you have covered 54 metres or 178 feet with anything from reduced vision to virtual blindness. And in the same notion, when emerging from the shadows into blazing sunshine, the effect is the same. This actually happened to a friend of mine many years ago in Plymouth. He came out of the shade, was temporarily blinded, which resulted in a head-on collision with a car. He broke his back, and although thankfully not paralysed, he will spend the rest of his life with metal rods in his spine. The sun is particularly dangerous when it's low, be it morning or evening, though I'm far too rock and roll for the morning sun to bother me. It plays no part in my life. You would do well to remember when that low sun is behind you and you can see perfectly, everything is just fine and dandy, and it's really cool seeing your own shadow in front of you. There's a very good chance that people coming towards you or people waiting to pull in or out of upcoming junctions have absolutely no idea you exist. You may have your headlight on, you may be wearing high vis, but that ball of burning gas measuring 865,000 miles across, approximately, outshines you. I'm sorry, Cupcake, but it does. Assume you are invisible. Okay, on to the second part, which is also to do with weather. Rain. Yes, the wet stuff that falls from clouds that we could all happily live without. But we have to accept it, and let's face it, without it, we would all soon resemble raisins and certainly wouldn't be able to enjoy our motorcycles. Contrary to popular belief, the fact that it's raining doesn't necessarily mean there is no grip. In fact, if it's been raining for a few hours or days or sometimes weeks for us here in the UK, and you have tread on your tyres, the levels of grip can be of ample sufficiency. However, you would still do well to avoid painted lines and treat drain covers like landmines. Other problems that the rain can provide are poor visibility, again, debris washed across the road from fields for example, standing water, you don't know how deep it is or what might be hiding in it. But in my opinion, the most dangerous time when it comes to rain is after a dry spell. When the road has been dry for a week and you've been blessing the tarmac with the edge of your tyres and all of a sudden there's a shower of rain, it can be like a skid pan. Honestly, it can be like ice, oily ice. One last thing I'd like to say on this subject something I don't remember ever seeing anyone else mention is this. Imagine you've been using your bike for work all week and it's been wet and messy. If it's winter, they may have been salting the roads. But come the weekend, the sun's out, the roads have dried up, and your favourite bunch of twisties beckon. Please remember, for the last few days, you've barely used more than the centre of your tyres. There is a good inch or more at each side that hasn't graced the road surface with its presence for a while, and it is coated in a slimy slop that looks like it came from a frying pan after the cooking of a full English breakfast. So if you go hurtling into that first bend with the intention of creating fireworks from your hero blobs, there is a fair chance it won't end well. Treat them like new tyres and scrub them in a bit. Let us not be the next stars of Dan the Fireman. That's it from me today. I would encourage you all to add a comment below highlighting other dangers to the motorcycling community, and I would encourage you all to read through them. Let's face it, the amount of idiots on the road makes staying alive hard enough, so any little bits of advice we can take on board is a good thing. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care, ciao for now, bye bye.